Good morning. My name is LeClair, and as you know by now, I'm running for Vice President of the Métis Nation, Saskatchewan. I wanted to talk a little bit about the forum the other night and the issue around the Self-Government Agreement. There are people who are saying that I want that agreement scrapped. That's not true. The point that I was making, or the points that I made, were around strengthening that agreement. For example, it intentionally leaves out Section 35 of the Constitution, where those are where we have our inherent rights. And we have an inherent right to self-government, and that is not part of that agreement. So my point was that there needs to be more work on this agreement. Shortly after, one of the candidates spoke and said that we are weeks away from legislation. So I'm just going to really quickly explain how we get to the legislative piece. So there's 8 different conditions that the government has placed upon us, one of which is to enact a new constitution, and there's a number of other conditions. I won't get into those conditions because the Constitution is a really important piece right in that agreement. So if it's in fact true that we're weeks away from a legislative issue of a legislation, then a constitution plus all those other things would have had to have been submitted to the federal government, and there would have been a review of the constitution and so on and so forth. Again, if that's true, then you have not been consulted. I have not been consulted. For sure, I know I haven't. They had 3 consultations, which in my view is not meaningful consultation. So we would have been, that constitution and all those other things would have been submitted to the government without talking to us about it first. If it's not true that we're weeks away from legislation that's going to affect our lives and our rights, then that's a mistruth. Someone is lying to us. So we need to really think about that issue. Did they submit documents that are going to affect our life without consulting us? If they didn't, then are we being lied to? And this is a critical moment for the Métis in Saskatchewan because it affects our lives so deeply. It affects our children and our grandchildren and those to come. So I want you to think about that. And I guess I would say, again, I seek your support, and have a good day, and we'll talk soon.